Okay, please discuss the courtship process. No, I just had to clear my throat. Brothers, sisters, there are a lot of singles here. How many of you over here single? Single sisters? All y'all single? How many of the brothers are single? Ooh. Big field awaits the wide awake man. We don't have no monastery here. We believe in courtship and marriage. That's a fundamental principle of the faith. In fact, in Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said marriage is one half of faith. And so we must, in this life, try to find the proper mate and marry. The courtship process is a very beautiful process in Islam. We don't believe in sampling the goods. You know, she's not a cookie. You take a bite out. I don't like that. And sisters, same thing on your side. I'll try that brother out. I'll try the next one. See? Marriage, real marriage is not physical. Real marriage is spiritual. Even though we're attracted to each other initially on a physical plane, you can't remain together if you're just physical. It's got to go deeper into the spiritual. So in Islam, we don't allow, we don't allow, this premarital sex. Oh, let's shack. You know what I mean? See what this is all about. I make my decision. Sex has a blinding characteristic to it, brothers and sisters. You get involved in the physical, you get so caught up in that, you really never get to know the person. And down the road a piece, you start seeing past the sex now. Because see, all of that wears out. Over time, of course. All machines sometimes slow down and break down, brother. So when you get so sexually involved, you become blind sometimes to the real person. So in Islam, where there is not premarital sex, courtship is very critical, how it's done. Court means just that. Bring the evidence as to why you are fit for me to marry you. Well, what? You want to get to know the person, right? What do you know about him? I just think he's handsome, boy. He's so sharp. She fine, man. You see it? Especially when that headpiece fell off. Did you see her hair, man? No, man, that wasn't no weave either, brother. Courtship means just that. You get to know the person through conversation. You want to know something about the history of the person. You want to know something about the background. You want to get to meet members of the family. Then you want to ask and raise questions that give you insight into the character of the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But if you're all enamored by the good looks or the fine body and all this kind of stuff, you may never get to the real issues until down the road. 2 or 3 children here, and you finally get around to the real issues of life and find out you shouldn't have been married in the first place. And that's the way most of us have been, isn't that true? We got married, but we had a lot of sex before marriage, and then ended up marrying probably because sister got pregnant, and you said, well, we hanging, you know, we'll get on, we'll get married, that's it. And then later on, when the sex wore off, you begin to see things, and you, I didn't know you was like that, but I don't know why. I've been this way ever since I was born. And then you end up in bad shape, brother. End up fighting her, killing her. She end up killing you, fighting you. And the children end up suffering. So the more time you take to explore the mentality, the characteristic of the person, then the better decision you will come to. And as long as you haven't made any definitive decision, then courtship is a great process. You know what I mean? No commitment there. You haven't gone to bed with her. So you ain't made no commitment. And even if you put a ring on her finger, it ain't never too late to say, well, wait a minute, I think I'm making a mistake here. It's better to back out before the fact than wait till after the fact. But everybody's not suited to each other simply because you believe in the same God. Somebody say, I'm a Muslim, there ain't no God but Allah, Muhammad is his messenger. Well, that's all I need to hear. Well, you better hear a little bit more than that, brother. I'm writing a book on that process, by the way, and so I'd like you to study it, because what white folk have been knowing, we don't really know, that there is a science to procreating the human species. It's not an accidental thing. It really is a scientific matter. And if you really know what you're looking for in a woman, and you will know what you're looking for if you know who you are. And the first person you gotta discover is yourself. So before you go run looking for a woman, you know, look at who you are. Well, who am I? Well, I'm this, I'm that. I got this kind of characteristic and that kind of characteristic. You gotta be very honest with yourself. And when you see your weaknesses and your strengths, have you ever put down on a piece of paper what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are? And then look at yourself. Now, if I want to make life better in the future, I got to marry a woman who can negate some of my weak characteristics. And then when we multiply, the child could be greater than both mom and dad.